Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Thank you, Sawako-san, for your introduction. My name is Yukako Yamashita. I'm really honored to be invited to Asia Society this morning and then talk about the future of art fairs. So I'm running art fair called Art Collaboration Kyoto, which is happening every autumn in Kyoto. So before talking about future of art fairs, let me briefly talk about what I'm doing at the moment through ACK, Art Collaboration Kyoto. Well, although Sawako-san gave us a brief introduction of myself, please let me also talk about myself a little bit more, and then also how I got connected to Kyoto. So myself has been always specializing in contemporary art, graduated from Sotheby's Institute of Art in London, and then worked at Sotheby's London as an internship, and then also Sotheby's Japan. And then when Ginza 6 opened in 2017, I was appointed as a managing director to found a new business for Tsutaya, Cultural Convenience Club, to get into our business. So that's the beginning of the club, the gallery I was running for 5 years. And then I was appointed as the program director of Art Collaboration Kyoto in 2017. And then I've been running the art fair for now 4 years at the moment. And so although I was growing up in Tokyo, but I have a family who has been deeply rooted in Kyoto through their family business. So our family business is all about tea ceremony, sado. So my family has been running tea ceremony utensils gallery in Kyoto for over 6 generations. At the moment, it's taken over by my brother, and then we have one gallery in Kyoto, one gallery in Tokyo, and one in Sapporo in Hokkaido. So since I was a baby, I was always back and forth in between these two cities. And then thank you to the tea ceremony, I've been also growing up really closely with culture or Japanese culture. So that's the reason that's the inspiration, I would say, when I got this opportunity to run art fair in Kyoto. I genuinely thought I'd love to challenge to cultivate the future of Kyoto or its culture through the art fair. So I'd like you to watch a little bit of video of last year's ACK for whom who never been to the fair. It's gonna be a really short video. So as I said, ACK has been founded 4 years ago, and then we are happening every autumn in Kyoto, which is the most beautiful season to visit the city. And then ACK is a contemporary art fair, and then every year we are gathering up like 65 towers to 70 galleries internationally. At the moment, we are doing the fair at one of the convention center located in the north part of Kyoto called ICC. And we are using 2 halls, and then we are doing 2 sections called the collaboration booth as well as Kyoto meeting booth. And this is the image of our party. So for us, art fair is not just about the daytime or at the convention center. It's all about your experience day and night or through the art fair weekend. And then we also deeply care about the future generation or commit to the future. So we conduct several kids program as well as we are having the nursery service, bilingual nursery service. And then also ACK stands for Art Collaboration Kyoto. Collaboration is also quite important. So every year we invite external companies who kindly support us, and then we build up the exhibition together with the companies. Every year we have about 20,000 visitors, and then right now the ratio, 30% of the visitors are international, and then the rest of the 20 are Japanese. Sorry, 20,000 are Japanese. So I'd like to talk a little bit more about ACK. So ACK, Art Collaboration Kyoto, originally started as a part of cultural project by Kyoto Prefecture in 2021. So ACK is, for me, it's not just about the art fair. It's more about experience or collaboration through the 4-day event. And then we are aiming for committing to the future of entire art ecosystem through the fair. So this is the map, just briefly describing main players in the art ecosystem. So we are one of them, obviously, but we gathered up, as I said, 69 galleries this year, and then that brings collectors to the fair, and then galleries are also bringing beautiful works by artists, and then that actually connects us to the other players such as museums, international art media, institutions, and then also I will explain it later a little bit more about like sponsors, companies, and then also public sectors including government. So for us, connecting all of these players in our ecosystem through ACK is really important, and then try to build up the future all together. So we call us as a Culture Forward Art Fair. So why we call us Culture Forward is we are aiming for cultivating more possibilities or potential of art fairs. So in other words, it's not just about transaction basis. Of course, transaction is really important for sustainability, but we are aiming for cultivating, more than that through providing a special experience for everyone. So to do that, these 3 elements are really essential for us. So first is collaboration, as it's already included in our name. Physically, our booth is a collaboration booth. So one booth needs 2 galleries as a set. One Japanese gallery and then one international gallery collaborate together and then make one booth together. So this collaboration spirit is not just about us, but I personally believe it's one of the most important philosophy in any part of art world. And then community. So I think the art fair is a really great opportunity to build up the community or maintain the community through this big client list, and then also physically speaking, gathering up almost 20,000 people every year. And then environment. So we hope that by doing art fairs or like by keeping doing art fairs for a long time, we hope that this will affect in a good way for the environment, supporting art world. For us, especially locality, so Kyoto, the local art scene or Kyoto's local art ecosystem is really important to care about. So this year we will be back to Kyoto on the November 1st. So it will be happening from November 1st until November 3rd. This will be the first weekend of November. And then it will be happen in the convention center, which is called the Kyoto International Conference Center, which is called as ICC, which is about 20 minutes ride by tube from Kyoto Station, slightly located slightly in north part of Kyoto. The right picture is the convention center. It's actually the architecture-wise also super beautiful. It's considered as one of the most important modern architecture in the city. And then we are gathering up 69 galleries this year from 19 countries and then 25 cities. Then I would say half of the galleries of 69 is international. The other half is Japanese. When we say international or international art fairs, to care about locality is equally important. So we are really happy this year that half of our exhibitors are international, and then at the same time, half of them is Japanese. So this is the exhibitors list of this year. It's very long, so I hope you have a time later to go through it more, with time. But again, we are truly excited that our galleries really diversified this year in terms of nationality. We have one gallery coming from Kosovo. We have one gallery coming from Mexico, of course, New York, London, China, and Korea as well. And then also ACK is really always deeply caring about the well balance of age. So we are happy to include such as Sky the Bath House, but alongside of that, we are happy to introduce really new gallery from Tokyo called the Tenko Project, which is run by the girl. She's still in 20s as well. And then same for the international galleries as well. We are including some really upcoming but really strong galleries run by new generations. At the same time, we are happy to include or invite the gallery such as Anneli Judah, who is such a prominent figure in the art world for years. So as you see here, we have two sections. So on your right, the gallery collaboration. This is the collaboration booth, which I was talking about. Two galleries do one booth as a set. And then the left side called the Kyoto meetings. This section is can be done by one gallery. It's more about curatorial approach to respect our locality, Kyoto. Art Fair kindly asks the gallery to bring the program somehow related to Kyoto. So if I were to give some example, last year we invited the gallery coming from Berlin, and then they brought beautiful solo presentation by artist called Olafur Eliasson. And then because Olafur has been deeply influenced by the philosophy or aesthetics related to Japanese garden or Japanese garden in Kyoto. So by doing these two sections, we really hope that the Kyoto can be also respected equally with bringing international vibes to Japan. So I talked more about the programs, but just briefly talk about who we are as talking about the structure of the art fair. So Art Collaboration Kyoto is not just standing for this collaboration booth. It's also collaboration is the key of our organization. So this fair has been originally founded by Kyoto Prefecture as its culture project, and then that's eventually brought this comprehensive organization, including Kyoto Prefecture, dealers associations, both from east part of Japan, west part of Japan, and then also Culture Vision Japan, Kyoto Chamber of Commerce, and then Industry, Kyoto Convention and Visitors Bureau as well. And then also we are greatly appreciated that we've been supported by also other governmental sector, including Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Economic Trade, and then also Tourism Agency. And then as you remember that Cultural Affairs, Agency of Cultural Affairs of Japan recently moved to Kyoto. And then we are happy that we managed fairs to build up really great relationship with them as well. And then collaboration also stands for the collaboration of these local government sectors as well as private sectors, including the companies. So this year we've been supported by these many of companies as well, and then I'm so grateful with it. Our leading partner is Mitsubishi Jisho, who's been supporting us since the beginning. And then I will talk about it later, but we are not just about getting their support. We are collaborating with them to build up, open up the new door for those companies through art as well. So here I'd like to talk about what is the future of art fairs, because we believe that as one of the most or youngest art fairs among the world, ACK, we believe that we can cultivate the future together for the art fairs, or better future for art fairs or art world. But first of all, to talk about future, we need to talk about history. So what is the beginning of the art fairs? Right now, it says like over 300 art fairs existed in the world. So, but for me, I believe that Art Basel in Swiss, Basel, is one of the beginning of everything. Then how it started? So it started in 1970 by three gallerists called Bayer, Blackner, and then Helt. Bayer is also well known with the Bayer Foundation Beautiful Museum in Basel these days. And then it said originally Basel, Swiss has been also known as one of the place in the world having loads of artworks in the warehouses. And then it says these three leaders thought, oh, there are so many artworks in this city, but when was the last time we saw the artworks? Or when was the last time collectors exhibit, these artworks? Why don't we just generate the opportunity to show those artworks? So it says that was the beginning of the fairs. And then if we would do that, why don't we also try to help the collectors for the little bit the liquidity of their art collections? So that's actually brought to the art fairs to transact or like making some transactions of art fairs. And then the opening year, 1970, they have got the 16,000 visitors, which is amazing number. If you remember, earlier I said ACK has every year 20,000 visitors, but 110 exhibitors, but from 10 countries. Us this year even having 25, more than 20 countries. So this was the beginning. So I thought, this has been really started as local art fairs as well. And then after decades, it's getting like one of the biggest international art fairs. And then, so for us, future of art fairs, ACK thinks like this. So although, like as I said, the most important thing is to respect the galleries who participate into the fair, and then through those galleries also to give the respect to artists who kindly provides their beautiful artworks to the fair, and then also collectors who is the biggest supporter for the art world. At the same time as the art fair, we are always working for the sake of others. So that can be those, the galleries, artists, collectors, their joy or their better encounter to beautiful artworks. But also more than that, we are caring about dedicating ourselves for the locality, which is Kyoto, or its culture, ecosystem, also economies as well. And then starting from there, we hope that in the longer term, we can also provide, the good future for the global art ecosystem. And then repeating that or doing that several years or decades, we hope that eventually art fair can also commit to the better future for the art world. So to doing that, it's also important art fair, which is one of the biggest entity in the art world. That's why we can provide, more impact. And then this impact needs to be long-term impact, or like in other words, art fair needs sustainability as well. And then again, always culture forward, because culture is also can be only built with longer term commitment. And then art is a culture. So we really care about this fundamental element. And then to achieve that, cooperation and collaboration rather than competition is most important spirit for ACK. So that's how we think about the future. And then I'm going to briefly introduce few programs of my art fair, how it's actually connected or why we are doing those programs. So we have quite many of programs, but ACK or myself really do one by one with really deeply thought. It's somehow connect to the following slides, how to commit to the future. So night out, so ACK is always providing the environment for the visitors, not just about the art fairs during the daytime, but to enjoy night scene or after art fair close. So this also deeply connect with the Japan is now trying to push the night economy. And then so by doing that, we collaborate with local bars or local art spots, and then we support their better economy during nighttime. Also, Kyoto has been, as you see, we thankfully having great numbers of tourists. During the daytime, it's a little bit packed, but still after, especially COVID, so many local shops or bars are struggling with welcoming the people during the evening. So this is also our commitment for them as well. And then nursery service, ACK has been collaborating with local the clinic service, and then providing the free nursery service, which is bilingual. So a few of galleries are also using that, because for galleries or even artists, traveling all the time to participate art fair is a really big burden, especially if you have a kids or family. So we hope that for sustainability or for their health, mental health, we hope we can commit a little bit by ourselves as well. And then kids programs, we invite local artists to provide a workshop for kids, as well as we are conducting the tour for kids. This is really just like the art guide tour we are also giving for adults as well. So the concept is we consider kids, or we see kids as adult. We're not gonna divide them as a kids or adult is adult. So kids can also enjoy art fair like adults does. And then associated programs. So this is a program happens outside of convention center, but in the Kyoto city. So we've been started as a culture project of Kyoto Prefecture, and then we are also receiving some support from Kyoto City to open those doors, such as temple usually not open for public, but they kindly open the door just for ACK's weekend. And then we connect that opportunity with the artist who is interested in doing the exhibition in unique venues. And then also we are collaborating with such as Pomeli, which is the company, the champagne company who's been also supporting the art fair since the beginning. So we are delighted that Pomeli has started Pomeli Prize last year at art fair. So this is a prize. So during the ACK, Pomeli select 2 or 3 local Kyoto artists, and then the winner will be invited by Pommery Chateau in France. So when Pommery approached us about this idea, we said, please support the local artists. And then as you see, art fairs is all gallery driven. So there are some local artists or some young artists who somehow doesn't work with galleries, cannot participate. But this is opportunity. We can also provide, the exhibition opportunity for those people who doesn't work with gallery. And then, so Pommery is also exhibiting final nominees' artworks during art fairs. And then they, instead of providing the cash, they actually providing a special experience for the artists to expand their future. So France, of course, is known as one of the most important city for art. So we believe that these artists can also touch and then see the new, inspiration through Pommery. And then ACK Talks, we conduct comprehensive international talks about 10 talks every year. This was the image from the last year. We invited Mami Kataoka from Mori Museum, Theater Gates, who is now doing a show at Mori as well from Chicago, and then Reijiro Izumi, who is the tea master from Kyoto, and then also Mr. Hosoo from one of the most important textile maker from Kyoto. So it's not just about art, but it's actually multi-layered talk programs connecting with other culture scene and then art. And then culture forward again, we are doing some exhibition over the city during the art fair weekend. So I hope you enjoy spending time in convention center, but spending few days in Kyoto and walk around the city and then meet so many people and then also meet so many unique experiences through us. And then again, this is what I said, so I'm going to just really briefly going through it again. So collaboration booths and then Kyoto meeting booths. So we are hearing from galleries participated previous years. So by doing collaboration booths, for example, of course it's about 4 days event, but after that, now they are also keep collaborating for longer time, such as through this 4 days collaborative booth, they found each other's artists, such as international gallery found local artists, and then now this local artist has been invited by the international galleries and then exhibiting outside of the country as well. And then Kyoto meetings, so this is the booth image of the Olafur Eliasson last year by Neugram Schneider Gallery from Berlin. So this was the first year Neugram Schneider participated Japanese art fair. They've enjoyed it, and then they also deeply inspired by Kyoto spirit or aesthetics, sorry. So this year Neugram Schneider is coming back to the fair as well, but also they are doing a unique venue exhibition with Scandinavian artists in one of the cultural heritage in Kyoto as well. So yes, so thank you for listening. This is the end of my presentation, and I'm looking forward to receive your questions and expand our conversation.
Thank you, Yukako. Now I think we truly understand what ACKC stands for, true collaboration. So thank you so much for this. I think, in terms of Asia Society, we've been involved, I think, from the very beginning. And so we're very happy to be part of this wonderful art fair. So I think I'd like to kick off with a few questions before I get the floor. I think they have the floor, and online we have quite a few questions already. But in terms of, I'm going to ask different questions that I thought of originally. But in terms of, COVID, you started off in 2021, I believe, and it's your 4th year. And I think the earlier years with the pandemic, I think it was really difficult. But at the same time, there were others in Japan, other art fairs that started, which I think is both your competitors, but at the same time, your collaborators to a certain extent, with regards to getting the local economy at the same time in the local art market, reviving them. But can I ask you one question in regards to how do you see your the other art fairs? And I have to say that, like yourself, I'm really happy that the directors are much younger and more diverse directors. So I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about how you see other art fairs in Japan that's popping up these days.
For us, again, it's important that we all coexisted because, especially in Japan, I have to be honest that art market, or especially art market for contemporary art in Japan, it's getting more and more exciting last few years, but it needs to be expanded more. That is something we cannot complete by only ACK. We need other art fairs. And then that's why, let's say, there is art fairs in spring in Tokyo, in July in Tokyo, as in Kyoto in autumn. So if these art fairs keep happening, people keep coming to the city, and then we hope that eventually that provide bigger impact or like a better impact to expand the sizing of the art market. So we care about each other. And then at the possible capacity, we of course communicate daily basis and then try to find a way how we can be coexisted.
Thank you. One question that I have in regards to Kyoto is, like, how does the local Kyoto people, what's their response for your art fair since opening?
Sure. The local people, well, in terms of that, I'm really grateful that because I can call half of my family as a local Kyoto people, they are. And then they provide me really feedback, frankly. So when I first time said, oh, I'm going to do a directing this fair. So they are saying that, what is contemporary art? What is art fair? What is happening, And then now after 3 years, they finally first recognize our name. First, when we say ACK, what is that? Now Kyoto people finally say, oh, ACK, yeah, that is something happening in convention center every autumn, but we are still that moment. We need to a little bit work out more. But we are really thankful that we have a great support with from Kyoto Prefecture, and then we invite some local people by free as well. So it's really needs to be a longer term commitment. So we try to just keep doing like a small activities, but doing that multi-layered, and then eventually we hope that it's expand better recognition towards to local people. Also, not just about that, we need to protect the local community or local people as well. We don't want to break, or we don't just want to bring brand new thing to them. So we've been always carefully discussing with them for that.
Great, thank you. With regards to your selection committee, you have Jeffrey Rosen this year. How do you select your selection committee, and how do they select the galleries or the artists?
Unfortunately, I cannot answer. This is a confidential that how a selection committee selects the galleries, but selection committee itself, at the moment, we have a few Japanese galleries such as Misako and Rosen, Tomio Koyama, Anomaly, and then also some from west part of Japan, Moriyu Gallery from Kyoto, Yoshiaki Inoue from Osaka, and then also some international international galleries from France and then from Taiwan. We deeply care about committee itself needs to be international, and then also having some west part of Japan, really local galleries as well. So I am grateful that selection committees themselves have been always proactively talking what this committee can be better. So that's why they decided to welcome Jeff Lee from Misako and Rosen as the new selection committee this year. So again, selection committee is always trying to keep fresh to welcome more diversified galleries every year.
Thank you, Yamashita-san, for your very clear explanation of what ACK is all about. I'm Seiichi Kondo. I'm former commissioner of the Agency for Cultural Affairs. I was a diplomat, and I was once loaned to METI. Therefore, I'm related to 3 of the 4 organizations that support you. My question is that I'm more interested in traditional crafts and performing arts rather than contemporary one. So I really wonder why most of the art fairs, 300 in the world, do not deal with traditional crafts or traditional performing arts. Because there is no clear line between contemporary and traditional arts, in Japan particularly. Why do you think that is the reason? Is it because traditional craftsmen are more conservative, bound by tradition, and therefore their works are not attractive enough? Or they are not willing to exhibit their works in such a big fair? Or there are some other reasons. Maybe the selection committee members are basically more interested in contemporary arts. I don't know what the reason is, but I wonder how we can encourage traditional craftsmen and performing artists to make themselves available in the art fairs, because the skills and their dedication to their work is superb. They can easily compete with contemporary artists. So what do you think is the reason for this absence of traditional arts in the art affairs? Thank you.
Thank you for the great question. The first of all, Art Collaboration Kyoto has been founded about contemporary art fair. So there's so that's why we are specializing in contemporary art for the booth. But I personally really like having like the same feeling with you, especially because of my family root, who's been also closely working with so many of great artisans or craftsmanships in Kyoto. And then, as you said, the quality-wise, I personally believe that crafts or traditional art is equally great with contemporary art, or sometimes can be beyond. For us, ACK, as a contemporary art fair, we also try to find a way to also not directly, but in a subtle way still, but we commit to the better, promotional occasion for those people. So that's why this year we are excited to launch the special project with the support by MUFG. So they've been doing the project to support crafts by themselves. So we are collaborating with them. So it's not going to be the gallery booth or gallery section, but with the special project, they are launching the exhibition / cafe to introduce the koge or crafts as well. And then also there is a dealers association about antique in Kyoto, Bijutsu Club. And then we've been collaborating with them since last year. So Bijutsu Club, the Dealers Association, they have a beautiful venue in Gion area in Kyoto. So they are doing also special exhibition during the ACK weekend. And then this year, actually since last year, by doing that in the same calendar, we try to also send our visitors to the antique area as well. So while we are as a fair, we believe that it's also important to having a clear, like a specializing area clearly. However, we believe that we can actually bring some other areas of art in a different ways to our organization or to the fair.
Thank you very much for the great presentation, and I really enjoyed it. And my name is Jun Kigoshi, and I'm a banker, but I happen to be an art lover as well. Well, I've been privileged to visit the ACK from the first time. I mean, that back to the 2021 or so. And consecutively, thank you for my friends here. I could, visit in the season. And every time the ACK try to do the new things also. But from the beginning, I sense that your ambitions are great. Means that try to launch the different art fair with lots of the idea like community or collaborations, those things different from or differentiate from the existing art fair like and more commercialized ones. So my question is that the past 3 years and what you have achieved in terms of your mission, original mission, and where you need to do better or more for coming years. This is one question, first question. Second one is a more productive one. To visit the next one, which part we shouldn't miss? Yeah, 見逃さない. Yeah, well, if we can get the recommendation from you, I really appreciate it. 2 questions, please.
Thank you for the question, and thank you so much for visiting us from the beginning. It means a lot for us. So yes, past few years, we really appreciate that we somehow managed to get the recognition in Japan, and then also from the world as well. Especially this year, I would say maybe since the beginning of this year, when I went to, for example, Paris, there are people, talking about ACK or through ACK about Japan. So this is the most important thing about us. ACK is ACK, but our ultimate goal is through ACK to get more attention from international collectors or international artworks to Japan, or like let's say, oh, something is happening in Japan, or like we need to visit Japan for contemporary art. This is what we are trying to do. So thankfully, we've been getting like some like really great international art media coverage about that. And then this year, we started really receiving great numbers of such as even like museum groups coming to visit ACK. And then this is again not just about us. We've been doing our art fair 1 week before of another art event in Tokyo, which is partnered with Basel. So let's say we are trying to make the image towards to the international audience that from the beginning is the art weeks art weeks in Japan, starting from Kyoto, going to Tokyo. So that's, I believe, if I could say achievement, this is one of the biggest achievements for ACK last few years. But at the same time, we are still, our next challenge is, again, sustainability. We need to keep survive, and then we need to keep doing ACK for longer time. So that's our next challenge. And so for this year, so I really believe that this is going to be, every year is fantastic, but this year will be another really one of the best year in terms of all the programs. So it's really tough to say one thing, but please, I would say take your time to visit Kyoto. I'd recommend, if possible, to spend maybe 2 days in full. I'd say 1 day full in the venue, because this year, honestly, the exhibitors list can be one of the strongest, of course, in Japan, but can be really internationally one of the strongest exhibitors list we could manage to make. And then also we are happy to start some like a cinema section with some like video artworks, part of the public program curated by really young curator collective coming from Hong Kong to do a guest creator job for the program. And then again, like there are really amazing exhibitions spread out in Kyoto City. So I hope you enjoy your visit.
With Kyotography?
Photography.
Yeah.
Thank you for question. Not yet, but we've been also such as like sometimes doing a conference all together, not just about Kyotography. Kyoto had several more like a really great art event as well. So we did a conference with like a Cecile from Kyotography, and then other event from Kyoto, and then ACK. So by just generating the communication at the moment.
And do you have any relationship with Villa Kujoyama?
Yes, so Villa Kujoyama and then also Institut Français has been really supportive towards to us, especially our talk program. So last few years, they've been supporting to invite art specialists from France as well to participate our talk.
It might be interesting to coordinate with them when they have an artist in residence at Villa Kujoyama to exhibit or have a talk with that artist in NAC.
Yeah, thank you so much for your advice. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to cultivate a conversation with them.
For many years, it's one of the best artists in residencies in Japan. And it's a good, I think, good branding, good association for you. And it makes it more in-depth, more interesting, your event.
Thank you so much.
And are you familiar with the Japanese flower artist, Makoto Azuma?
Yes.
At about the same, I talked to him yesterday, and about the same time as you're doing your event in Kyoto, he's looking to create an exhibition in Kyoto. So if you don't mind, I'll put you in closer touch with him.
Thank you.
And maybe there's some possibility of collaboration with him and your event.
Thank you. That would be lovely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everett Brown of Kyoto Kaisho. I don't have a question, but I just want to say that hearing your talk was really impressive. And what I feel is that you're not creating an art fair, but you're creating an art ecosystem. And it's really engaging the community. It's engaging children. I'd also like to second Kondo Sensei's question about bringing in the traditional arts as a way to, again, expand the ecosystem, because the event is in Kyoto. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Hi, this is Nachi. I'm also a former banker, and I'm an art collector and promoter as well. It's lovely to see new art fairs coming up, promoted by younger people such as yourselves. Great talk. I have two questions, two related themes, actually. I second Everett's comment about the ecosystem that you're building. So are you spending any time in educating some of the visitors or the new generation that's coming to the art fairs? And secondly, and it's kind of related, what is your opinion about the advent of Web3 and more digital art? What would be the future of art fairs in your opinion?
Sure, thank you so much for your question. So for your first question about educational approach, so for us, we have educational team in my office. And then this educational team is leading about the program related to education. And then for us right now, talk program is we conduct these comprehensive talk programs as for the occasion, educational occasion for us, like grown-ups. And then we sometimes do, I visit some art universities. Kyoto has one of the most numbers of the art universities at the moment in Japan. And then we are also building up great relationships with them as well through this educational team. So I hope this actually helps for also students' educational occasion. And then also towards, to the kids, that they are the future generation. And then our kids program is, of course, deeply, it's actually part of our educational program. So that's how we are doing about our educational approach at the moment. And with those new technology, so we are also trying to find, or like in my personal opinion, that again, coexisting with this new technology is the key. So not like fully dependent on that. We still care about the physical experience, but also, for us, more building up a more better environment for everyone. We sometimes need that technology to be able to the people who really want to come to visit, but somehow they can't. So I hope that this technology can be helpful for that.
Yukako, thank you. I think we have quite a few online questions. Leo, can you address them?
Yes, we do have a lot of questions from the online audience. Unfortunately, we can't go through all of them, but here's a question from Mr. William Hanbury Tennyson. At a time when we in the art world are increasingly worried about the environmental impact of moving artworks around the world, can you talk a little bit about the ESG, environmental initiatives and programs of ACK?
Sure. Not just about ACK, but this is really one of the biggest, a challenge for everyone in the art world, because obviously moving around the artworks consumes so much of the things related to ESG. We are still trying to find a way to commit or solve those issues. But right now we've been doing it for that environment, issues is, so we closely work with one of the Kyoto local architect who used to work at Sana. His name is Mr. Suo. So this really unique venue design is all coming from his idea. And then this looks really different from other fairs. Why? Because we've been using the pre-used wall, or a pre-used wooden wall. So it's actually recycle or reuse to build up all the exhibition walls of our fair. So some of the booth walls are coming from the wall used to be in some other museum as another occasion for temporary wall. So this is small commitment, or we care about environment as well.
Thank you. We have another question. This one is from Julie Chun. When it comes to international art fairs in Asia, we have HK Art Basel, Seoul Freeze, Shanghai 021, and Westbund, and there seems to be an abundance of art fairs that attract high-worth collectors. Why do you think there is a need for another one in Kyoto, and what are your opinions towards that?
Yeah, that's exactly the question came up in my head when I first received this offer to become the director. I really thought, why do we need another fair? So again, my answer is what ACK is doing is not just about making just another art fair. We are just really trying to commit ourselves to really develop the art world in Japan or in Kyoto. And then I think this country or the city needs that. I hope this answers your question.
How viable is it to operate a single art fair when the international trend is to build multi-location fair operators?
So this is also like it can be a little bit connected with the previous question about why we need another fair. So we also like, or I really think art fair is a really great occasion to introduce the beauty of local or like locality. So for us, that automatically brings not just about exhibiting artworks, but also providing unique experience only can be happen in Kyoto or in Japan. So introducing like our unique culture as well. And then thinking of that at the moment, we are really fully into like cultivating one single location, but deeper. And then also highlighting the locality.
Thank you very much for a great presentation. As half Kyotonian, half Tokyo-based guy, I really hope that this event or your effort will be materialized in a meaningful way. And my question is that the philosophy or vision behind ACK is quite different from the international art fair like Basel, Miami, Hong Kong, where many buyers are approaching to the cities with a private jet, spending a huge amount of money, and then go away with the precious artworks. But this is obviously different, right? And then my question is that what kind of community this ACK should be belonging to, because you are, cultivating the collaboration with Art Basel, et cetera, which is fine, great. But is there any another layer of the community sharing a kind of same philosophy or same vision as ACK? Thank you.
Sure. So one of the things it's just started, or we are starting from this year, and I'm so excited about is uniting with other local art fairs in other countries. For example, we are excited to try out like a collectors exchange program in between Art Jakarta and then us this year. And then I've been also talking with like one of the local art fair in Korea, that how we can actually, collaborate. So, so for us, like to somehow like in the past, all the art fairs almost never talk each other, but I believe that it can be better. So like as I said, we are super happy that we've been making like some great conversation with really big art fairs such as Basel in a different layer, but also like to generate the conversation and then find the opportunity to support each other with local art fairs. Like our capacity is actually I see as like a new community to get in or like to make a better relationship.
Okay, so Yukako, thank you so much for today's presentation. And I think we all know more about what collaboration means in ACK. So thank you so much for an insightful presentation.